I am Mishu Kandashvili, 24 years old.
My name is Joseph Avila. I come from San Cristobal, Venezuela.
I'm Dennis. I'm 18 years old.
Aujourd'hui, les problèmes financiers sont un réel handicap, un réel empêchement pour les jeunes artistes. Je croise la route de jeunes musiciens, de grands talents, qui ont tout à fait le potentiel de participer, voire d'être lauréats de grands concours. Mais la question ne se pose même pas, car pour eux, il est financièrement impossible de même s'inscrire à ces concours, sans parler après de voyager, de payer les frais. La question se pose alors, est-ce que de potentiels grands talents de demain ne pouvaient avoir la visibilité qu'ils méritent, ne pouvaient commencer la carrière qu'ils méritent, ou ne pouvaient même pas faire les études qu'ils méritent, rater leur chance à cause d'une centaine d'euros? Parce que c'est le cas. Très souvent, des problèmes décisifs tournent autour de sommes qui sont au bout du compte ridicules, mais qui représentent pour eux un réel problème. Donc après toutes ces constatations, après avoir vu des talents gâchés, après avoir vu des talents disparaître avant même d'avoir pu vraiment exister, nous avons décidé de créer cette association, l'association Esperus, afin de pouvoir aider et de promouvoir quelques-uns de ces jeunes artistes, de ces jeunes talents, de ces jeunes musiciens qui sont la génération de demain et qui ont tellement de choses à nous dire et qui parfois ne peuvent rien faire. Il est important que cette aide existe.
We try to help with paying apartments, insurances, paying studies, paying food, if they want to buy music, if they want to tune their instruments, if they want to buy strings, anything they would need to feel comfortable to be able to create the best they can.
I come from Georgia, Tbilisi. This is my hometown. I'm studying in Vienna already 5 years. I started piano at 7, when I was 7 years old. It was funny. It's like I was watching TV, and there was I liked very much the movie animation Lion King, and there was this music clip of Elton John, and I was watching this. I was very excited, and my mom said, "Do you want to play like this?" And yes, and we decided to to go in the next day into the school, and I started like this. When I turned 14, then I understood, I think, that I get something special, feelings from the music, from that music what I play. And then I understood that it can be a profession of my life. While I was studying in the music school, I had touch already to the Georgian Conservatory. I played their concerts, but I couldn't find a teacher, maybe with whom I would like to work. In that moment, in Tbilisi, there was no view of what can be done after the conservatory. You finish the conservatory, and what you can do after. The reason was that I couldn't see the future of my music in my hometown. This music is written, right, already, and it isn't our music. But when you spend hours and hours in the room with this music, it's already your music, and you have idea how it should sound, how it should go, how it should flow in the time. And this is what I call my music, but in general it's written from the great composers, and we're trying to somehow achieve the idea what they put in the today life is sometimes you could lose the important things. What should person feel during his life, right? And when you listen something special, nobody knows, but somehow you get these feelings. You feel this, even if you never heard, you never liked classical music, or if you never had any contact with the classical music. If it's great piece, you get those feelings, and that for me is, and I think that would be very useful for people who think that this music is not for them, and it's too complicated. Why you should get help for that? Because like you do it for you, right? And this is what you're doing in your life. This is your job, and why does it need help, right? Like to take practicing, right? Practicing takes very long time. Like, it isn't how much, but 3 hours. 3 hours. Not it's these 3 hours can be like these 3 hours use much energy of our brain, and it is not easy 1 hour, and 1 hour. And when you work on one piece, there's also technical side. To achieve technical improvement, it takes many hours. To lose it is very easy. And I recognize that it's like it can be an hour, like you can lose it very easy. So what is my point? That of course musicians can, and many musicians do this. They practice also, and they go evening, they work somewhere, and like to get some money for living, because when you're a student there is not so many jobs and places to get this minimum with what you can survive, and also practice, and also stay positive, and to do it with excitement. And this is the problem, that when you turn a little bit right, it goes back very easily, and to refresh everything, it takes time also. It's very difficult. That's why students and musicians need support, and this support, even tiny support for a musician, is something very big help, because like fresh air, it's yeah.
From Venezuela, from a small city, and they only have one music school. And I started going to this music school when I was 5 years old, and I was very lucky. I had a very good teacher. But whenever I was at the music school, I was completely full of joy and life, and had many friends. It felt like a very beautiful thing in the middle of a lot of problems. Well, Venezuela is a problematic place to grow up in. I left my parents' house when I was 16 to be in the capital city to study there, and then from there I moved to Europe when I was 19. Came to France to study here, but I didn't have what I have in Vienna. I had a lot of wishes, yes, but I didn't have like the people who would be able to help me find a way to make them happen, the wishes. And I was very lucky to have people from the very beginning in Vienna. Also, the situation in Venezuela was very different. Nowadays, it's very difficult to get help from your parents. Actually, I should be the one helping them.
Yeah, you can make it even more crystal. The sound, typical for Szymanowski, this one facet of this amazing, gorgeous sound, and then hop, you turn, and there is this crystal see-through thing on the other picture. Yeah, you can play the Übergang for
I have to say I tried not doing it. I really tried not thinking about music. I tried exploring other possibilities. I'm not afraid of working or learning new things, but I just don't feel as alive when I do other things. I think there is, or there should be at least, recognition, like in professional terms. I mean, like for classical musicians, there should be the same social prerogatives as for any other professions. What we do as classical musicians or artists or of any kind, what we do is to refill the tank of joy for many, even though that's a very, let's say, ambitious way to put it, a very, self-indulging way to see the things we do. I think that there's an importance. There's a social duty somehow. We just have to find the people who actually get it, the people who connect to it, people who are sensitive enough to relate, to see themselves in what we do. And we have to be generous and open and give them space within our work so they can see themselves reflected on it. So it's always like give and take. We are constantly thinking about what we do. We dream about what we do. we sleep on it. While we eat, we probably listen to some music. We probably listen to ourselves and suffer and struggle and think the next time will be better while we are on our free time. Every penny we get is just for it. You know, like, I'm gonna pay for this masterclass, or I'm gonna buy this new bow if you're a violinist. I'm gonna tune my piano. Finally. Well, to be honest, I think everything is accessible nowadays. There are too many things on the internet. So classical music is among those things. So anyone could open a YouTube video and watch, like a fantastic orchestra giving a full performance of a masterpiece. The question would be how someone who's completely unaware of the existence of these masterpieces, or young musicians doing classical music in France or whatever, how to reach them. For me, getting help represents the possibility to do what I do, to do what I love, without thinking all the time about what to eat for dinner and what to have for lunch the day after. It gives me an opportunity to go deeper into what I do, to do more than just surviving. I mean, I think nowadays many people struggle with their daily life needs. And I think, getting help is good to not just survive.
The idea to create fund came same time slowly, but also very fast as a decision for me personally, because I have seen many young people which are able to be good musicians and show their capacities from the beginning, but they come from different countries which unfortunately don't allow that process to be as fast and as efficient. So, of course, watching these young people, always there is an idea to help. There is always an idea of immediate help. Like when you see them having no money to eat or having no possibility to pay room for practicing, which is elementary thing, and it's not payment free. In Vienna, for example, you always want to give money. And at one day, when they are not a few, but more than 2, 3, 4, then you put the question, how can I help? You try and you start to build little by little, thanks help of our French friends and donators and a couple of friends from Vienna, which have started already stone by stone to build this fund. I hope it will be possible very soon not to feel that what I felt first days when I met these people, but to feel happy and be able to give a little input in the future, first of all well-being, and then being a great musician for those kids. By thoughtful way of playing, honesty, sufficient technical level, great capacity, and big will to study and to know and to share. Motivating, demanding, teaching students to practice efficiently, giving them freedom of expression according to their individuality, and bringing out the maximum of the students' capacities. A combination of different traditions, which are, for example, in my case, Georgian piano school, Russian piano school, Western piano school, which to which I got much closer in these 21 years, which I live in Vienna, to combine all of that and create universal musician who will be able to keep his personality, paying respect to tradition and to composers' ideas. I think that music world today, classical music world particularly, is very cosmopolitan, but one can say that still everyone stays more or less in his own box. It happens that a lot of very, very good musicians, instrumentalists, performers, composers, they are very famous in their countries, but nobody knows about them, even in the neighbor country, for example. I try to take these borders away and to bring kids together already by the fact that my class and our fund is opened to any nationality, and one of our ideas is to bring them together, to share their experience and to gain something new from the moment they start their education and their way until the moment they will have their own view and their own personal idea, and they will continue their way in some country where they will live later. It's very touching for me to see my students coming from all possible different countries, trying to speak with each other even without knowing the language, to learn some words which will bring joy and happiness, laughing together, sharing experience of their daily life and of their culture, folk songs, folk music, playing jazz together, having different conversations about their view of music, and just spending time together. This is a very precious thing today, because there are too many things which are going through internet, Facebook, YouTube, and people are not experiencing the big need of physical human communication. I see that in my students, I see that every day, how happy they are, communicating with each other. And that's for me one of the most precious things to be in touch with, speaking about our fund.
Hi, I'm Denis. I'm from Ukraine.
Okay.
And I'm living in Vienna. It all began from the fact that my grandfather is trumpet player and my uncle is conductor. I was 5 years old and after practicing of my uncle, I sat down to the piano and tried something. And my uncle was behind the door and listened all the time. And after he spoke with my parents and said that I need to go to music school. I like play the piano now because I feel that it's like near my heart, and when I playing I feel like when I'm in dreams. The life of music students is difficult because you have lessons, after you must practicing, and your thought is just always about music, and but you must think about some work, what you have to eat, when will you leave, and it's difficult sometimes. When I have some help, I have little more time to practicing, to give my time to my beloved profession. In the future, I would like to be solo pianist. I know it's difficult, but I want to travel in other country and to bring happiness to people which listen my music, my concert. I mean, sport is important to physical statement of people, and education is important to brain and culture of people, and music and art is important to soul, like people's soul statement. If person want to be fulfilled, he must keep him all in balance.
For the future, of course, I wish to be able to help more people than only 5. I would like to have a stable feeling of big support of sufficient amount of people who is wishing to participate in their lives and who is ready to make not one-time donations, but make it on a regular basis, that our kids can live and work quiet without having big worries about their future.